Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 theme lands of the Magic Kingdom.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. This is Justin Monorail, and I've got my Monorail amigos joining me here today. Let's start, ladies first. Stephers, I don't know what to call you. Are you a cousin of the Monorail? Are you an aunt? Aunt Stephers!
I was going to say after you were like cousin and then you went aunt, I was like, I'm in my auntie era. Now I don't know how I pronounce that word.
You're the auntie Stephers.
Yes, we're going to say I'm the aunt, however anyone pronounces it, of the Monorail.
Steph.
Hello. Good morning. Afternoon or evening, whatever time it is for you.
And good night. Steffers didn't sleep last night, so that one.
Absolutely not. I partook in some adult beverages, and then I just never slept. So we're going 24 plus hours.
That is hardcore.
Being alive.
That's how we do it on the Monorail.
Hardcore for the Monorail.
Yeah, that's right. I think you were just celebrating. You were pre-gaming Monorail, and I appreciate that.
I always got to think of the Monorail.
Well, we've got another friend we've got to welcome in, and I'm pretty sure that he pre-games pretty much every activity of his life, and that is, of course, Landon, the Dawes Doan. Landon, welcome back to the Monorail.
Actually, Landon's not here. I am disgraced football analyst Connor Stallions.
Oh, well, then you've resigned.
I just killed Jay. Yes! We're back, baby! Jay's dead. Does Disney is back.
We really
passed
did, though.
away.
We really did just kind of fall over.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That choked me up.
That
choked me up, guys.
Halloween is over. We do not need any more happy haunts. Like, we're good.
Zoe's getting in on the games too.
Oh, wow. I don't know what happened. Like, literally, my voice came to a stop. Just like the Epcot monorail when it blew out a tire last week and screeched to a halt.
Man, what would it have been like to be on that particular monorail?
I think it would have been at first terrifying.
Yeah,
because the way I heard it described was there was a flash and an explosion sound, and then the monorail just stopped. And I think I would be thinking, this thing's on fire, isn't it? It's on fire. We're going to have to jump from the monorail.
And honestly, knowing your luck, you'd be like, yep, it's only appropriate that I die trapped inside of a monorail. Me, Justin Monorail, going down in flames in my own namesake.
I know. But luckily, it wasn't a big deal. I mean, the people had to I think it was like almost 80 people had to get evacuated off the monorail. I think they brought in the fire trucks and got everybody off. But that would be really scary. Yeah.
I mean, they got a good story to tell after the fact, but in that moment, yes, that would be kind of terrifying. The blood pressure would definitely be elevated, I'd imagine. Yeah, your Apple Watch would be like, hey, are you okay?
Our sensors tell us that you were on a monorail that just blew a tire. Are you still alive? Do you need emergency assistance?
For some reason, when you said that, and I know it has nothing to do with the Apple Watch, I pictured Clippy from Microsoft Word asking you that. Can we bring back Clippy?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day. Number one, I don't have Microsoft Office on this computer, which is tragic, really, because Google Drive is the new wave of the future. Mm-hmm. But I really want the virtual assistant. Like, what happened to Clippy? Justice for Clippy.
Hashtag justice for Clippy. Let's get it started.
I think ChatGPT assassinated Clippy.
No.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, integrate Clippy with ChatGPT. I don't know. You could do that.
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
You can bring back the cute little paperclip man.
Do we want an even more sentient Clippy? Do we need
No.
to introduce artificial intelligence to Clippy?
In the wise words of the Dillos, no, because nostalgia.
Well,
And I mean, like Clippy was already on top of his stuff. I'm pretty sure this is how Skynet starts.
No.
this is where we're all headed, ladies and gentlemen.
Honestly, probably.
Wow, who would have thought in the opening of this week's Monday Morning Monorail, I killed Justin Monorail, and then we say that Terminator starts by introducing AI to Clippy from Microsoft Word.
Yeah.
We're off to a hot start. I love it.
Always.
I think one of the things that we always fear is the corporations merging and becoming stronger than the government and just taking over. And that's
Already happening.
that's going to lead us to our first article of the week.
What a
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't hear it, one of the big news items of the week in the theme park world, it wasn't right here in the epicenter in Central Florida, but it impacted all of North America. And that is, of course, the merging of Cedar Fair and Six Flags, now merging to create a playtime powerhouse, according to NPR.org. Cedar Fair is...
I want to point out you're getting this article from NPR. Like, this is an actual reputable news site.
Right.
Like, normally we get our news stories from like mickey'smagicshoes.blogspot.com. This is NP freaking R here.
Well, the funny thing is I specifically picked a reputable news source for this article just to like raise up our legitimacy just a little bit. Yeah. Just a skosh. Oh, yeah. We even went the same word.
It was funny because we were discussing the articles for the show today, and we have listeners from all over, and Carowinds, my local park, is part of Cedar Fair.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's throw it in. Let's just discuss with the whole class. So
sure.
I've been to Six Flags Magic Mountain. That's the one in California, I think, and that's the only Six Flags I've been to. Nice park. I'm not sure what's going to happen now. I hope we don't lose Snoopy.
Yeah, that's a good question. So the article says the combined company worth more than $3.5 billion will boast 27 amusement parks, 15 water parks, and 9 resort properties in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. And it will have entertainment partnerships and a portfolio of IP, including Looney Tunes, DC, and Peanuts. So, I mean, I don't think that
should keep it.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any threat of losing those partnerships. Landon, I know growing up in East Tennessee, as I did, you've probably attended Six Flags over Georgia. Is that true?
Oh, several times, yeah. Whether it be the family taking me and Tyler down there, I'm pretty sure families went down there several times, or like youth groups at church would be like, all right, well, we're taking a bus down to Six Flags for the weekend or the day. Yeah, I've lost count how many times I've been to Six Flags in Georgia, but it's one of those amusement parks that the older I got and the more I attended, at least back in the day, as the kids would say, it seemed like it was being taken care of less and less.
Yeah.
At least compared to parks like Disney, parks like Universal. Hell, even locally, Stephers name checked her local park. Like even less than Dollywood here locally for me.
Yeah.
I think the care that those owners put into those parks far and away lapped what Six Flags was doing with their parks.
Yeah,
at least in my opinion.
Well, and I don't know that you're wrong. I mean, there may be some other regional Six Flags parks that people would possibly say are taken care of better than the ones that we got to go to. But I will throw in, I got to go to, as I was growing up over the years, I got to go to Kings Island, which is a Cedar Fair park. And I've been to Cedar Point, kind of the flagship Cedar Fair park in Sandusky, Ohio. And those parks to me, well, specifically Cedar Point, their whole, I guess, identity was roller coasters and trying to have. Yeah,
like that's the quote unquote roller coaster capital of the world, right?
Yes, they wanted to have the record breakers, the biggest, the fastest, the most, technologically advanced. I love that park. It is such a different experience. For those of you who are huge fans of Disney and Universal, there's such a big difference going to a Cedar Fair or a Six Flags park because these are great amusement parks. Well, you call them amusement parks because there's a big difference between an amusement park and a theme park. They're not themed. Sure, they do have some themed areas and they do their best to immerse you in some sort of a theme as you kind of move through the park. But it's always like, there's no suspension of, oh, I'm in Germany now that I'm in this portion of the park, or I'm in the Old West. Although I guess Knott's Berry Farm, I think, is included as one of the parks owned by Cedar Fair. And so Knott's Berry Farm, I think, has a nice Old West section that's pretty immersive. But I don't know. It's a whole different experience. I've always compared it to going to a much safer and glorified state fair when you go to like a Six Flags park. I mean, that's diminishing it. That's diminishing it a little bit, but it's not that far off. You're
there for the rides, not for the whole.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you're there for the rides. You're not trying to visit Anna and Elsa. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Maybe Snoopy.
Yeah. And there are some good rides. I mean, the Six Flags in Georgia, there's a really dope wooden roller coaster, or at least there was back in the day that I was a big fan of growing up. It had the novelty of it can go backwards, it can go forwards, it goes fast.
The Twin Racer. Yeah.
There it is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it used to be one side went forward, one side went backward. I don't know if it still does that because I know they changed it up, but it used to. And that was a fun, unique wooden roller coaster. And I'll say, I feel like I need to hedge what I'm saying here a little bit by saying, I think the rides are great. I just think you go to those parks for it's a much different experience, and you go for a much different reason than you go to a Disney or a Universal, where you're trying to be immersed in the stories and experiences and characters. So, but I think what's happening, attendance patterns have changed. The world has changed post-pandemic, and I think that Six Flags and Cedar Fair are just doing what they can to stay alive here. And who knows? My hope is that, I know there's going to be some cost savings here with this alliance, with this merger. There's going to be a whole new, they're going to have whole new resources to access. And what I hope is that it actually raises the game of all of those parks, and they get better quality, and maybe they have more reason for you to go visit a park that maybe you wouldn't have in the past. So that's my hope.
1,000%. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do think it's interesting looking at this NPR article. Cedar Fair is going to be the majority shareholder, holding 51.2% of the combined company, with Six Flags shareholders getting about 48.8%. So it looks like Cedar Fair is going to be sitting at the proverbial head of the table when it comes to the business meetings going forward in this merger.
Steffers, what was I unfair in how I characterized the Cedar Fair or Six Flags parks, in your opinion?
Growing up going to Universal and Disney, I just feel like that's the most, not accurate, but like I feel like that's not too far left field.
Okay.
I don't go to Carowinds looking for an immersive experience.
Right.
Like, I'm literally there, ride some roller coasters, and dip.
Maybe get on that.
If I wanted to go to a water park.
Maybe get on that cool steel coaster that had a crack in its beam last year if you want an extra.
I've been on it. Fury 365?
Yeah.
Quality coaster. It's a very quality coaster. Good thing I went on it before the crack. Hesitant, but I know it's fixed.
Yeah,
so,
they
it's a really good coaster. Nothing. I don't want to say nothing makes sense there, because overarching it's Peanuts and Snoopy and all that, but it's not very prevalent. It's kind of, here's Intimidator about NASCAR, and here's this about a snake. What's the snake called? Whatever the snake is called. It's nothing's cohesive.
Yeah.
You just go.
Wait, hold on. Is there really a NASCAR themed roller coaster named the Intimidator after Dale Earnhardt Sr.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good one. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really fun roller coaster.
I rarely say this on the Monday Morning Monorail. I learned something today.
Yeah.
Listen, you learn a lot. Whether you comprehend it is a different story.
Touché.
Or retain. That's another thing.
Retain. Yeah. Retain. That's a whole nother thing, too.
I wanted to say this to sort of level set what we're talking about in terms of the comparison of a amusement company like Cedar Fair compared to Walt Disney or Disney theme parks. Last year, Cedar Fair reported an attendance of 12.4 million guests in the third quarter, and Six Flags a 16% rise in its third quarter attendance, which totaled 9.3 million guests. So that's third quarter, and that's all of the Cedar Fair and all of the Six Flags parks for last year. As a comparison, there were 17 million guests that went to the Magic Kingdom alone in 2022. So, and I know we're talking about different time frames. If you want to cut that, cut it into a quarter, I guess third quarter, maybe attendance would be a little bit lower, but you're still talking what?
It's one park out of how many?
Yeah. You're talking 4.5, 5 million, guests, in one park. So that sort of gives you so obviously Disney's got more money to invest. They have more people coming and that sort of thing. But anyway, the point stands. I always look at these things and hope that all it means is a better experience for guests. That's
1000%.
Yeah. So
I'm excited to see how this merge benefits both.
Yeah, me too.
Though I am curious, this article does name check the Looney Tunes, DC Comics, and Peanuts IPs, and how in some instances in these parks, those IPs are heavily ingrained into those experiences. I am curious. It seems like as of now, those IPs are going to be staying put where they are. But as we know, when it comes to IPs, eventually they're going to have to renegotiate contracts. And particularly with Warner Brother, they can be, let's just say, making questionable decisions when it comes to negotiating stuff at the table. I am curious what would happen if Warner Brother walked away and they did lose the IPs to the Looney Tunes, to DC Comics, to Snoopy and the Peanuts, like Stephers talked about earlier. Because, at least in Atlanta, there was a big ass Batman influence in roller coasters and in lands. It's not as, immersive. It's like, oh, you're in Gotham now. But like Batman definitely has a big bat footprint in that theme park.
Big bat footprint. That's true. And I would agree. There used to be, I don't think they still have it, but there used to be a really cool Batman stunt show at Six Flags, Georgia.
That would have been cool to see.
Yeah, they pulled out the Batmobile and everything. There, like I said, there's really cool things there. It's just a totally different experience. Yeah,
and different doesn't necessarily mean bad.
No, it doesn't. And I feel bad because I feel like I denigrated the parks, and now people are going to come at me. But
dear Justin Monorail, why do you hate Six Flags?
Yeah. But this is come on, we're a Central Florida theme park focused podcast, so I'm a little biased.
Yeah, his last name is Monorail. He isn't called Justin Six Flags.
It's true. And speaking of the Central Florida parks, I want to be the first to welcome all of you to the Christmas season. Because according to Walt Disney World, Christmas has arrived. And as we're recording this on Sunday, November the 5th, the last Halloween Horror Nights event, it took place on Saturday the 4th. So even Universal is now moving on, although their holiday celebration's still a couple weeks out. But Disney is already decked out in its finest holiday decor. The Christmas tree is up in the town square in the Magic Kingdom. The wreaths are up down Main Street. They're playing holiday music down Main Street. It is amazing. And I know we probably say this every year when we go through this transition, but just the snap of the fingers, they end the not so scary party. If you don't get out of there quick enough, you might be crushed by a giant Christmas tree that's going up right in the middle of town square. So, that's something to look forward to if you are coming to the parks in the next couple of months. I think the theming in Magic Kingdom is always beautiful, but I gotta say, I think over the time of being a local and appreciating it a little bit more, I kind of like the decor that they put up in Hollywood Studios just a little bit better.
Yeah, the Christmas decorations in Hollywood studios are underrated. I'll agree with you on that. But I mean, I don't know. It's like walking under the railway station in the Magic Kingdom, coming out and looking down Main Street, USA. But then you have that big giant Christmas tree just right there in front of you, and seeing all the wreaths up and the like. Just talking about it, the hair on my arm is standing up. There's something magical about that.
Yeah.
It just makes me happy, you know? And I mean, like talking, you know, Disney's ringing in the Christmas season. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party starts this week. It starts on Thursday, November the 9th. So be sure and look forward to updates of me telling you what parties have sold out, because apparently that's all I've been reduced to in the podcasting.
Come on.
You got to give the people what they want, man.
That's
I know
true.
my place.
That's
Fine.
true.
But back to your point, it's like Hollywood studio dressed up for Christmas is just, there's something magical about it.
Yeah, I love those retro decorations. Stephers, where do you land on which park looks the best for the holidays?
Islands of Adventure.
I'm looking forward to seeing that this year. And going through Seuss Landing, and and getting that experience again. Yeah, it is great. I agree.
Yeah. In terms of Disney parks, I would have to agree with Hollywood Studios. I think Hollywood Studios just has enough that you can appreciate in its entirety. Like, I know like Magic Kingdom has like different sections and stuff, and then you get Jingle Cruise and you get blah. Mm-hmm. I just like Hollywood Studios as an overarching thing for sure.
Yeah. Well,
I also want to give a shout out to Animal Kingdom. I love the decorations they put up at Animal Kingdom, and they break out those mini marionette puppets of the animals. Mm-hmm. Those are really cool.
Yeah, and there's nothing mini about some of those. The polar bears are as big as like a full-size polar bear, and they're operated by two people.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love
a polar bear.
Yeah, the marionettes are great. And I agree with you. I like what they do at Animal Kingdom. What I tend to appreciate, I think, even more about Hollywood Studios is I think that at Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom, they limit the holiday decorations to the main thoroughfare, and then you don't really see it anywhere else. But Hollywood Studios, it expands out, to even the Municeburg is getting a holiday makeover.
Yes. Yeah, Frozone is quote unquote redecorating that area.
Yeah,
and we have that sign that says "Season's Greeting Municeburg." I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and I can't remember last year. One thing we got to put on the radar: Life Day's coming up. So did they actually put some decorations in Galaxy's Edge last year for Life Day, or was it just a thing where they had merch? It may have just been a merch.
I think it was just a merchandise thing.
Yeah.
Like don't quote me on that, even though I'm being recorded on a podcast, so you're definitely recording me saying that. But I think it was just a merchandise opportunity, which, I mean, Disney is a business, so Disney gonna Disney at the end of the day. But I like talking to your point about how in Hollywood Studios it expands everywhere. It's like I would love to see some Life Day decorations up in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying have, Kylo Ren walk around dressed as Santa Claus. Oh. Actually, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
That would be awesome.
Would be great. He could walk around with a red and green lightsaber. Yeah. The stormtroopers could be wrapped.
So iconic.
That would be great.
Stormtroopers would be wrapped like candy canes.
Yes.
It would be great.
Yes.
Disney, are you listening?
Oh my God!
I mean, last week apparently people stole Flogar from us, according to people in the Monorail fam chat. So Disney, feel free to steal this great idea from this guy right here.
So we need to follow up on that, because is that something that just popped up in the last week? We need to check. It was Lexi that called this out to us, and if seriously, just in the last week, something new popped up called Flogar, I'm going to be contacting my representatives. That's all I'm saying. What the heck?
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that one of your ideas come to life by others.
I know. I was going to say, you took my trash can tablecloths from me, and now you're taking Flogar? What are you going to take next? Why don't you call yourself Justin Monorail? Oh, wait, someone did that on Twitter. So, anyway.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, just go ahead and pivot to Justin Six Flags.
That's it. Cedar Flag. Justin Cedar Six Flags coming at you. Yeah, well, I can't wait to, in the article, actually, we have an article up from WDWinfo.com, and I was looking, and they say, and I was about to say these exact words, that they can't wait to see the Santa hat on Gertie over at Echo Lake. I know. It's just great. They play the classic Christmas music. They've got the classic. It's so good. I feel like the decorations at Hollywood Studios make you feel cozy. That'd be the best way I could describe it. And I'm looking forward to seeing it.
That's a good way to describe it, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
Cozy. We love the cozy.
We love the cozy.
Vibes, for sure.
That's what the holidays is all about.
Speaking of cozy, this honestly kind of cozy. It's kind of not. But I did mention the Jingle Cruise.
You did.
Which I actually I was able to do it finally because I go before or after it starts, or I just don't do it because, well, I'm going to get a lot of hate, but I don't really care for the Jungle Cruise.
Oh,
all right.
you said it. You said it.
Out of the chat.
Oh, no.
Stephers is no longer an auntie. She is excommunicated.
It's not something, if there's like a super long wait, like I won't do it, but I do like the Jingle Cruise for, like, I like the overlay of the ride. And I did that at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party last year, and it was a fun time.
It is.
So, holidays.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, and this is one of those things that you can do during the regular park hours from now until post Christmas Day. They will be doing the Jingle Cruise in place of the Jungle Cruise, and it is lovely. We actually had a family member, Nate, in the Monday Morning Monorail fam on Facebook, got to go day one on the Jingle Cruise and said it was a wonderful time. So if you're not familiar, if you haven't had a chance to do it, they decorate the dock. The whole queue for the Jingle Cruise is beautiful. You've got garland, you've got ornaments. There's Christmas trees in there made out of odds and ends that the Jungle Cruise skippers have found. And then when you go on the ride, there's some special decorations, and they change the story and the jokes are Christmas themed. So it's really fun. Absolutely, highly recommend.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Christmas, if you have a heart unlike Stephers and enjoy the Jungle, highly recommend you checking out the Jingle Cruise. This is a must-do, in my opinion, if you are down during the Christmas season at the Magic Kingdom. So dang cool.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Disney continues to do this. I kind of wish that they would do this more with some of their other attractions, but I don't know how they would do that.
I have a suggestion that just popped in my mind because I think you could do it very easily. Why not do...
steal it.
You're going to steal it? Oh, someone's going to steal it.
No, they're going to steal it. Yeah, someone else.
I think you ought to do a holiday overlay for the TTA. Like, why not?
Ooh.
You could make it, you could play Christmas music. You could light it up to where there's Christmas lights at night. You could have, and maybe even put a few things in the displays that you get to see as you go through, like Space Mountain and through the building that has the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin and all that. Just put some Christmas stuff in there for us to see. I think that would be that's an easy thing to do. Why not?
I mean, all it would really do is involve recording a new voiceover and putting together a soundtrack. And then, like you said, put some items in display and put some red and green lights up.
Yeah. Imagine hearing jingle bells while you're just like going through the TTA. That'd be so much fun.
That would be
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Yeah. It's already a great ride. I will give a shout out to a couple things they are doing that I love. And one of them is this is the only time of year I would even consider riding the Tomorrowland Speedway, because they actually do decorate the Tomorrowland Speedway for the holidays. So at night it looks great. And then the other thing that they've only been doing for the last few years, but it may be one of the best things that they've ever done for the holiday, is decorating Living with the Land.
Yes, Living with the Land with the Christmas lights up is so incredible.
It's great.
It is so awesome. I mean, again, going back to what you said about the People Mover, already a great attraction. Living with the Land, already a great attraction, but with the Christmas decorations, just puts it over the top. Like, again, the hair on my arm is standing up, and I'm like, I got an Epcot day on Saturday this week, so I am super excited to experience that. By the way, I will not be here to record next week, so go ahead and mark tape.
Well, then you're not getting paid, just so you know.
Damn it, again!
Just like every other week.
Yeah, exactly.
Stephers, when I started to say that this was my favorite thing they've done in the last few years, you hesitated. Was there something you were going to throw out?
Oh, no, I just didn't know what you were going to say. And then I think my thing is specific to the party. So I was like, is he going to say that? And then I was like, nope, he went a different direction. And I agree. The Living with the Land is great. I just didn't know if you were going to say Space Mountain.
Oh, yeah. I forgot they do that at the party.
Trippy, really trippy is the only word I'm going to use for that experience. Love Space Mountain. Wholly overstimulation for me.
Yeah.
What did they like pipe in Mariah Carey during this time of year?
Oh, honey, no. It's not Mariah Carey, but it's also red and green lights. Like it's like a whole experience.
Yeah.
It's great. Like those who love, the holidays, great. I just wasn't ready.
It's a Christmas rave.
Exactly. It's just, it's a time for sure. Ooh, are they going to do that for Tron maybe?
Why not? They better.
Ooh.
They better do Christmas lights on Tron. Come on.
I love that idea.
I love
the $1 million ideas here and there, just squandering it.
Hey, another thing to throw out as a brand new thing they're doing in Epcot is the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday song that they did last year.
Oh, are they bringing that back?
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out. I don't know. They did it last. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Not confirmed, but also, come on, Disney, get it together.
Yeah, but anyway, I think we're just saying we love all the changes and things they do in the parks for the holidays. Do more of it. It makes us happy. It makes us feel cozy. It makes Landon's hair on his arm stand up and he gets all the goose pimples. So do it.
And there's a lot of hair to stand up.
He's a woolly man. He celebrates Life Day every year because that's a requirement if you have this percentage of body hair.
It's true.
Accurate.
I'm right there with you, buddy. I'm not. Hey, and I've got Chewy, my Life Day Chewy, right here beside me. So we're ready. We are ready for the holidays. Season. Yeah.
To be jolly. Sorry.
Wouldn't be an episode without Stepher singing. So there you go.
Yep.
Listen here, Mr. Dawes.
Check off the bingo card.
Yeah.
Hey,
bringing back bingo 2024.
Speaking of something new in Epcot, we've got I wish I had a sound drop for this. We've got an exciting Epcot floor update. I picked this article from blogmickey.com just specifically because Disney theme park nerds are the only people in the world who need an article written about the floor at an amusement park. I mean,
accurate.
These are the kinds of updates we need. But I did want to give a shout out because apparently the first time that this particular pattern in World Celebration was teased, it was on Imagineer Zach Ridley.
On this podcast and previous podcasts, we referred to him as Zach Ridley Diddly Doo.
Yep.
Please proceed.
That's right. It was on his Instagram account back June 29th, 2022, that we got a teaser about what this was going to look like. But now a recent shift in the construction walls at Walcott has revealed a new segment of World Celebration flooring. And on a podcast, it's hard to describe this because it's a visual image. We're looking at some sort of a grate that is surrounding the trees that they're planting. And it looks cool. That's the story.
It's giving futuristic is what it's giving. It's giving... honestly, the only thing I can think of to compare this to is like DNA, like
it kind of does look like,
hexagonal, whatever. Y'all can go to this Blog Mickey article and look at the floor.
Yeah, well,
just go to this article and look at the floor.
It's interesting because here's something that I thought it jumped out to me about it. It is a metalwork floor. It's metal panels, and they are.
Wait, it is?
Yeah. And they're around the trees, which makes me think the reason they're doing this is so that they can easily pop those panels up and switch out trees or switch out, like so many different times of the year.
So smart.
They can switch out the vegetation or whatever they've got there. Maybe they pop in some topiaries for Flogar. # Monorail said it first. And
oh my God, that's going to have to be a trending hashtag every single week. We're going to have to just do like a weekly roundup of # Monorail said it first.
Can we get some merchandise going for that?
Honestly,
I think we should.
That's really smart. That doesn't look like it's metal. I mean, that one thing there looks like
no,
metal.
It really doesn't.
You're talking about the whole thing,
Yeah,
right? Not
the
just
whole
that
thing.
little circly doodad?
No, the whole thing is metal. So
That does not, that's cool.
here's what Ridley specifically said about the design. Ridley diddly diddly do.
Thank you.
Progress continues across the expanse of World Celebration, future home to amazing gardens and spaces that will come alive throughout the seasons with our International Festival program at Epcot. Seeing details go in and the hard work of your team behind all this is truly one of those cool moments that stick with you. We've started installation of our custom metalwork that will form a gracefully curved pathway from Dreamer's Point to the center of World Celebration. You may have seen these early examples of our thematic metalwork elements with the new Epcot utility covers. Eagle Eye fans can likely spot more than one of these throughout the new park neighborhoods. And they do. They look like weathered metal.
Wild.
They're pretty cool.
But again, like if they didn't point out they were metal, they
It's
blend
because
right
of the
in.
color.
Yeah,
It's because of the color.
It looks like
That's
stonework.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Landon, as a metalhead, I thought you would have spotted this a mile away and be like, metal floors. Epcot.
Well, if I'm being completely honest, I'm kind of slipping in my old age. You know, bad
Like
back,
even the zoomed
concussion.
even the zoomed in version, like it's not, I don't want to say it looks like rust because it's not, but like the kind of texture on it, like
It looks
I
aged.
just can't tell.
It looks
it's
aged.
so cool.
Yeah, and that's, I guess they did that as a design choice, but it does look really cool.
Good job, Disney team and Zach Ridley diddly do
There you go.
for your achievements.
Always proud
on
of
floors.
the progress.
You got the floors. Good job.
Floor update.
Got the floors in. Anyway.
And this will
Is
bring.
this going to become a recurring segment? Floor updates.
It could be.
Floor
Maybe.
Watch 2023.
I'm hungry.
Oh, okay. Well, this is perfect timing because, as you know, anytime Disney releases a foodie guide on their Disney Parks blog, that jumps right on to the list of articles that we're going to be talking about on the monorail because we all love a foodie guide. Yeah.
I like food.
We got two of them this week, actually. One of them specifically for the Very Merry Christmas Party, but then the other was a foodie guide to the Disney World gingerbread house displays that you can
Is that
observe.
a thing? Has that always been a thing? A foodie guide for the gingerbread house stuff?
I don't think I've seen a foodie guide before. Gingerbreads have been
I
around.
was like,
yeah.
I've never heard of that, but like I'm cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the gingerbread houses themselves, has been a thing for
Yeah.
a couple decades at this point. But I do think here recently Disney has put more of an emphasis on like limited time snacks and treats that you can get for the quote unquote full blown experience of going to see these works of gingerbread art.
That's true. And I appreciate it. I think Disney just knows I love a foodie guide. They do it for me. It's a little.
They do it for you specifically.
Throwing a little bone.
It's across the resorts.
Yeah.
Okay, this foodie guide is across the resorts. I was confused. I was like, why are you giving me a guide for like the one little thing? I got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Lots of
There's a
gingerbread.
guide.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's cookies and yummies.
It's cookies and yummies. And there's a lot of yummy treats. I mean, going back to the party. So I will say, we talked a lot about the Jollywood Nights party at Hollywood Studios and how amazing the lineup of snacks and treats and savory snacks that you can get and cocktails is going to be at Jollywood Nights. I mean, Disney brings a nice array of options for the Very Merry Party as well. I think when I think about the Very Merry Party, there's always maybe like one or two things that I'm like, okay, I'm marking this. I'm going to go try this thing, but then I'm going to just go to all the stations and get the free hot chocolate and the free cookies and load up on all that stuff. And I'm not so much worried about like trying all these different things.
I'm going to be honest, going through this foodie guide, there's some new introductions this year that I'm already making that might become actual notes that me and the Smoke-A-Nut girlfriend are going to try and, try out during our Very Merry Christmas Party night.
There's literally, I saw this, my mouth dropped, and you can't see it because it's an audio-only podcast, but this holiday turkey burger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A holiday
I love like my favorite, my second favorite part of Thanksgiving is the cranberry sauce. Maybe unpopular opinion. I don't care. First is stuffing. So just don't at me. It's fine.
Let's
don't
not
judge
get
me
into
either.
stuffing and dressing, Steffers. You're opening up a whole can of worms.
No, that's for next week's episode. But this just looks really good. Anyway, this is a really hefty list.
Yeah.
But what I enjoy about Disney and their different parties and festivals and stuff is they always try to incorporate like something new that's still on the brand, on the nose. Not that Universal doesn't do that, but like this just hits, man.
It does.
Oh, this looks so good. I'm so hungry now. Oh.
This is good. Stepher's appetite is coming back. That's good.
I know we're not going to go through this item by item, or at least I don't think we are, but can we talk about the thing that's leading off this list at Anti-Gravity's Galactic Goodies? The Reindeer Chow Sundae. It looks awesome and it sounds awesome. Chocolate serve, pretzels, cereal, M&M chocolates, and hot fudge.
Yeah.
And I want me with a good time.
By the way, that is available at the party and during regular park hours.
Exactly. Yeah. Unlike a lot of those things that sounded great when we were talking about the foodie guide for Jollywood Nights. It's like, you got to pay $200 to come to the party so you can have this really good-looking Gertie cookie. No, this is available during regular park hours, which I love that Disney's doing that.
I have a question, and I don't know if you guys will have the answer. So milkshakes... yes, they bring all the boys to the yard.
I was going to say it. Thank you, Auntie Stephers.
So obviously they don't serve these milkshakes in the glasses, like it's the plastic or paper or whatever it's going to be. Has anyone gotten a milkshake from these the parties?
I have
in the group. Are they like good? Are they like kind of instant made, kind of tasting? Like, is it worth the dairy intake?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Because the one that I got, it was from Anti-Gravity's, and it was like a gingerbread shake, if I'm remembering right. It was something like that at a Very Merry Party a couple years ago, and I took a sip of it, and it was just I couldn't I couldn't finish it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, with something like a party, it's different when you're like sitting at a restaurant and you order a milkshake and they bring you like a whole thing, like at the place
Steak and Shake.
Sci-Fi.
Oh,
I was thinking sci-fi. I was trying to keep it on brand. Wow. But something like at a party where you're like walking up to a window, like I don't know if they like pre-make it and they have it lined up or they pull it out of a like I just didn't know what the vibe was, so I just wanted to know.
They do make it at the time. I don't think there are any pre-mix. I mean, they make it at the time, but for me, the flavors were not great, but that may have been that specific one.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember if it was at Very Merry or Not So Scary. I at one of the parties, let's put it this way. I'm getting old. I don't remember things. At one of the parties, I got a shake from Anti-Gravity's.
Getting old?
I'm getting old, and I can't remember, but I just remember not liking it and feeling like, well, that was a waste of calories. So... FYI.
That's fair. There are 6 things. I just control F'd this article. There are 6 things that are also available during park hours. Oh. So it's worth going through this foodie guide for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
a lot of new items as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tons
of new items. Yeah. And that you kind of wonder maybe if there's been feedback from the guests over the last few years that they needed to up the game a little bit. And I am happy to see that there's a lot of savory options. That's something that I'm always looking for. That, Steffers, you called out that holiday turkey burger. I was looking at the holiday pot roast melt.
Thank you. Yes, I was looking at that thing too. That looks incredible.
Yeah. Slow cooked beef on thick toast with cheddar and provolone cheese and beef gravy. And that's a party only. Yeah. Landon, you said...
Did I miss?
What'd you miss?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that...
looking for another guide.
Okay. I was going to say Landon said he was taking some notes, so I wanted to know if there was anything specifically, aside from what we already mentioned, that you're like, oh, we're going to have to make a special trip and get this thing during the party.
Well, you already mentioned the pot roast sandwich. There is another pot roast item that I'm very intrigued at trying out. We're going to head over to Fire's Nook, the Italian beef tots. Tots covered in slow-cooked beef, cheese curds, zesty...
Giardiniera.
Thank you. And pot roast gravy that is also available only during the party. Your boy loves some tots. Your boy also loves some pot roast. So I would also love some cheese curds as well. obviously not very healthy for said boy, but would love to try that. Honestly, the entire offering from Friars looks really good. Peppermint snowman, which is some sort of chocolate brownie with a cookies and cream peppermint mousse on it. Another shake. It's a coconut. I'm not a big fan of coconut, but if you are, maybe check that out with a twist of cinnamon on it. And then the holiday ham fried pie, flaky pastry filled with baked ham, candied sweet potatoes, and spiced pecans served with a pineapple glaze. That's an interesting choice there on the pineapple glaze, but that could be pretty good.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I will say
tots though.
Something that me and Justin will probably talk about next week. There's no foodie guide yet for Festival of the Holidays.
Oh.
I knew we were missing a guide, and I was like, there's something that I'm missing. I just looked it up. That it still says they came out with one for Disneyland. They have not come out with one for Disney World, which I'm sure will literally happen as this episode drops. Yeah. And this will be old news.
And then we just look like fools.
Yeah. I was like, I love Festival of the Holidays, so I was curious if that was going to be a thing.
I'm sure. Well, we'll get it soon. I'm sure that.
That will be coming eventually.
But then the question becomes: they have this foodie guide for a Very Merry Christmas Party, but then, like, if you had to choose, not rides included, if we're just looking at food, Very Merry Christmas Party offerings or Festival of the Holidays. Just saying.
I mean, if we're answering that question right now, I think I'd go, maybe it's just the newness, but I'd go Very Merry because I want to try several of these things. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if the Festival of the Holidays is going to bring some new exciting things this year too. I do love, I hope it does. And I love the cookie stroll that they do every year for Festival of the Holidays. That's one of my favorite things. So I'd hate to miss out on that if I could only have one, but yeah, I'm just.
Oh, Jay, shut your mouth. Sleepy Hollow, the holiday waffle sundae. Made red velvet waffle topped with M&M's, peppermint ice cream, and hot fudge.
Yeah.
God
bless. Dog.
Oh, man.
Yep.
What a time. The holidays are a great time of year in Orlando, Central Florida area.
It's true.
To get diabetes. No.
Yeah.
Honestly, though.
Yeah.
Well, does diabetes affect you if you're just eating treats at Disney World? We know calories don't count. I mean,
that is true.
Well,
that is true.
I guess maybe we should
will say those who have diabetes probably.
Yeah,
I'm being told by our legal team we are not allowed to say that.
Okay, thank you, thank you, legal team. Where were you on the Flogar?
Yeah, right. Yeah, really dropped the ball on that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
Ooh, a hot cocoa churro.
Landon's just taking notes, y'all.
Hot cocoa churro.
Churro rolled in hot cocoa powder topped with marshmallows and peppermint candy pieces. That is one of those treats that's available during regular park hours. So.
Yeah, and that's setting me up for disappointment. I just usually don't like churros.
We're aware.
I'm just saying.
We're aware to our wrong opinions.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on up.
Well, so if you can't make it in the parks, you can still experience a lot of holiday festivities around the resort. And as Stephers mentioned, and we've referred to, the Gingerbread foodie guide is a great resource to take a look at and let you know where you can see some of the edible decorations that they put in the resorts. Of course, the big centerpiece is always over at the Grand Floridian with the giant life-size gingerbread house that they build right there in the lobby. And I should mention, you can buy gingerbread shingles and literally, I mean, they're not going to take it off the house, but they're made exactly the same as the one they uses on the house. So you can eat those as you go. But don't miss out on the other resorts because the Yacht Club has got a lighthouse. And then if you go over to the boardwalk, they've got a carousel that you can look at, or that's the beach club at the carousel.
Boardwalk has animals.
The boardwalk has animals. Interesting.
Right?
Yeah, they do.
Animal Kingdom Lodge. No, Animal Kingdom Lodge.
What is happening?
Didn't label it. This article is just not.
It's all over the place.
Aligned.
We love you, blogmickey.com, but you're throwing us off.
Yeah.
Kind of
I was like, that doesn't make sense.
By the way, that carousel over at Beach Club,
Yeah.
it actually moves. How cool is that?
That is very
Does
cool.
it actually?
Yep.
That is so cool. I love
Uh-huh.
that. And they named the horses too, or whatever they're called.
Okay, so at the boardwalk, you're going to be able to see a miniature version of some of your favorite boardwalk locations set up, made out of edible treats. And that includes the new Boardwalk Deli that hasn't opened yet, that replaced the ESPN Club.
Yes.
So
Yacht
that's
Club is the lighthouse.
Yeah.
The carousel's at Beach Club. Okay, we're aligned now.
We're there.
aligned.
We made it.
We did it.
The 22 hidden
goodness.
Mickeys on that carousel that actually moved. And the gingerbread offering is inspired by DuckTales, with the horses themed after Donald Duck and his nephews. That's very cool.
Aww.
Do I need to
I love
drop in
that,
a
actually.
woo?
Well, I was going to suggest it, but I think all of our listeners did it themselves, so it's fine.
True.
Gingerbread DuckTales. I hope you wooed in your heart.
I did.
Well,
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot, and it's already out there for you to see. So, you know, again, if you're coming down to Walt Disney World in the next couple of months, go check it out. Don't actually try to break off a piece of gingerbread from the displays.
Nope.
You can buy them from other locations.
I think this all gets kicked off this week on the 8th. So just give yourself a little bit of time. If you're in town Monday, Tuesday, know when the race starts, so to speak. And I do think it's cool. Want to note over at the Contemporary on the 4th floor, they have a Mary Blair inspired 100th celebration themed castle display, which I mean,
Oh, wow.
like obviously got to get on the 100th year celebration, but also the fact that they're giving, some love to Mary Blair. I think that's super cool.
Very cool. Yeah. You gotta shout out to Mary Blair at any opportunity.
Particularly in the Contemporary.
Yeah. And while we're on the topic of shout outs, I've got one shout out that I would like to share before we wrap up the Disney news. And that is going to be a shout out over to a couple of Disney legends from the left coast. And this is kind of a sad article, but I just wanted to share. I know we normally stay on the Walt Disney World in Orlando, but hopping over to Disneyland, this article comes from the Orange County Register. Voices of Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure replaced after decades of service. Disneyland Park announcer Bill Rogers and Disney California Adventure Park announcer Camille Dixon will no longer be recording new park announcements. The familiar voices have welcomed visitors to Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure for decades, and they will soon be changing as the husband and wife team behind the daily park announcements are departing after their contracts were not extended. Yeah. Rogers has been the voice of Disneyland for the last 32 years, while Dixon has been the voice of Disney's California Adventure for 11 years. Disneyland made the decision to move forward with the new voices for park announcements at Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure as contract renewals approach for voice talent. And it just says Disneyland is thankful and grateful to Rogers and Dixon for sharing their voice talents with guests throughout the years. And I want to say, first of all, shout out to them. Also, so cool that this is like a married couple that was doing this.
Yeah, that is really cool.
At the two parks. And really sad that Disney's moving on from them. And I just wanted to say, when you are a guest that comes to the parks year after year, something you may not notice if you only come once every 4 or 5 years, but those voices, you that's part of your experience. The voices that you get, especially the morning announcements, the evening announcements, the announcements throughout the day, you associate your experience with hearing those voices. And so I know a lot of people are going to miss both Dixon and Bill Rogers, over at Disneyland. And, just shout out to them for their service. I know they got a lot of joy from it, and really sad that they aren't going to continue there. And just know, a lot of people associate your voices with the magic that they experienced in the parks, and you're going to be missed. So thanks for everything you did.
Looking at some of the quotes from this article, Rogers was speaking with the Orange County Register in 2016, quote, "I think I've said ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls about 90,000 times." And that was in 2016. And then in a chat with Mice Chat, Rogers said, quote, and this is somebody who broadcasts and talks for a living. This really hits home. Quote, I learned early on that park announcers are speaking to everyone, but also just to one person.
Yeah.
And kind of going to what you were saying, Jay, it's like these voices that make these announcements, they really do have an impact that you really don't take into account. You almost kind of take them for granted just because they're there. They're part of the background. But at the same time, it's like they're letting you know what's going on in the park. They're keeping you up to date. They're letting you know where you need to go if you want to, get ready for a parade or something like that, or fireworks are going to be starting, and get ready, stuff like that. So thank you for years of service. And it is cool that this is a married couple, and it's kind of a bummer that they're no longer going to be a part of the Disney family.
Yeah. Sad. Like you said, I think people take it as part of the atmosphere of the park, and it's one of those things you probably don't notice until it changes. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, something's a little off here. So unsung heroes for sure. But congratulations to them on successful park service, and I hope that they go on to bigger and better things. So we've got some Universal tidbits here. I know that we've gone long in the news segment, which I said I wasn't going to do, but we did. So we're gonna try to hit a couple things, and of course we call this segment Across the Universal with Steffers as we step along the pathway of I-4 into the Universal Orlando parks. Just a couple things, like I mentioned, Halloween Horror Nights wrapped up yesterday, November 4th, 2 days ago, as of the release of this podcast. I want to shake. I don't think we've said it on the show, but Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls at Islands of Adventure has been closed, but it will be reopening on November 18th. So it's coming back in a couple of weeks,
just in time for the winter.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Because that's what I want to do
guys.
in November and December is hop on a log flume.
Well,
I'm going to Volcano Bay in December, so
What?
going for it. I'm going right for it.
Y'all people are on drugs.
the good news about Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls is that you don't really get very wet on that ride.
What?
Yeah, not at all.
What? I don't believe it.
I've never been more wet than the last time I rode Dudley Do-Right. So
correct, but not as wet as you get on Popeyes.
I have never ridden Popeye because I feel like I legitimately need to be in a bathing suit if I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you just plan a water day
at
Islands, and then you leave and you come back.
Yeah. I'm going to do that at some point, but I just haven't done it. And it was the only reason I did Dudley Do-Right when I did. It was the end of a day. The line was down to like 10 minutes. And I was like, well, I'm leaving anyway, so I'm going to go do it. I still was upset about how wet I got.
To no one's surprise. Absolutely no one's surprise. It's fine. It's a great ride.
It's fun. It is fun.
But I love water rides, so. Yeah.
I do too. I like them. I just don't like my feet being wet. That's the big thing.
The worst feeling when you're walking around in the park and your socks are drawn. You're just miserable.
Yeah, that's why I do sandals just for the water days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Balance.
You got to pick and choose, though, because you don't want to be walking around the parks in sandals. That'll tear your feet
Correct. You have to like plan your day that way.
Yeah.
You can't just.
However, if you want to go Crocs with no socks, you'll be okay.
Yeah, but then you're being seen in public with Crocs. So, there's
my
that.
Crocs are great. I have a Gimli charm on my Croc.
Well, there you go.
Crocs.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
I know. I'm cool sometimes.
I agree. Sometimes.
Okay. Moving on to Harry Potter stuff. I got this one.
Okay.
The nighttime lights at Hogwarts Castle is on extended closure for future show enhancements. I feel like every year they like stop this for some sort of extended period. Mm-hmm. They haven't said anything about a reopening time frame, so we'll keep you posted whenever that is announced. The biggest news, and if you love Harry or Universal as much as I do, then this is like a big deal. The Hogwarts Express got a little update. If you don't know, Hermione's voice wasn't the best on the Hogwarts Express, but they have now updated her voice so she sounds closer to Emma Watson's voice, and you can hear it now And there is videos online, so I highly recommend checking those out because it really is a big difference, or a big enough difference for me where I'm like, wow, okay, cool. They listened.
Wow. So
the theme parks really doing their work.
I've ridden the Hogwarts Express. I'm going to say a handful of times. Let's say 5 times. I don't think that I've ever even really paid that much attention to the voices.
Unbelievable.
And so
I'm right there with you.
I wouldn't have known to complain about the Hermione voice, and now it's going to be like, oh, I did maybe, but like I said, maybe I just took it for granted as background, and now it's going to stand out to me that it's different, and I'll be like, oh,
correct.
Yeah. So
yeah, you're going to be like, hey, Ron, look out. We need to get out of here. Be like, oh my God, there is a noticeable difference. It sounds just like her.
Just sounds closer. It's fine.
Closer.
It makes our hearts happy. Okay.
Yeah.
Just let us have this one.
Emma Watson, I've heard that she lives like just over on the East Coast here. She's got a house in like Palm Coast, Florida. Why doesn't she just come on over and do a recording herself? I'm sure they'll toss her a couple.
I'm not actually sure why they didn't get her to record. I feel like there's some
money is why, Stephers.
Well, that's okay. Well, that too.
But I mean, didn't NBC Universal get like $8.5 billion from Disney to buy out their part of Hulu? They could use some of that money, right? There you go. Bingo, bango.
Yeah.
Business. Look at me. I'm Landon Business. He's Justin Six Flags.
Cedar Six Flags. Justin Cedar Six Flags. Yeah, no, you're right. But no, that's it. It's so interesting because I guess Stephers, there were enough guests that complained about it that Universal was like, we just have to change.
Pass holders are very vocal.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the team members are also vocal. Like, I think it's just been, it's time.
It's time.
It's been a long time coming, in the wise words of Miss Taylor Allison Swift. Anyway, sorry. I had to throw in a T.
Wow.
I had to do a whole T Swift reference. It's, just part of who I am.
That's actually Jay's middle name too, Justin Allison Kritzinger.
Little known fact. Well, my last name's Monorail, but Cedar Fair, Cedar Six Flags. Justin Allison, Cedar Six Flags.
The last piece of Universal news.
Yep.
It's our favorite time of year next year. Well, it's our favorite time of year now, but they've also talked about our favorite time of year for next year. Universal's Mardi Gras. It will be running from February 3rd through April 7th, 2024.
Yeah.
Tell us why this is your favorite time of year, Justin.
Bloody Marys.
Shocker.
But also, I love the parade. I actually love everything I love the food. I love the concert. Like, I love everything about the Universal Mardi Gras celebration. It's so good. And I love the merch. It's so much fun. It really is. It's one of my favorite things to do in the park at Universal. If we're talking about during daylight hours, I love the Universal Mardi Gras celebration.
I've never done. I want to say I wanted to, or I was set up to do like the Eat to the Beat concert at Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
I have done the concerts at Universal for Mardi Gras.
Mm-hmm. I
am very interested in people who have done both, like the experience, because the spacing, like there's seating at Epcot, it's just like kind of like turf at Universal. Like I'm kind of curious how people compare the two in terms of concert experiences. So if anyone's done both,
I've done both.
Just holla. Okay, well, Justin, what about the other people in the world?
Okay. Well, then
you can tell me though.
You all answer
what do you like
on my behalf?
No. What is your take though?
I think there's pros and cons from both sides. I think if you want to see one of the more popular acts at Eat to the Beat, you have to plan that out. It's much better if you do a dining package so you don't have to wait in the long standby line and actually get in and get a seat, because there is a lower capacity at the American Garden Theater compared to the stage that they use for the concerts at Universal. For example, last year, I got to see Patti LaBelle as part of the lineup for the Mardi Gras Universal celebration. And we just walked up. The concert had just started, and we got to just kind of walk up. Well, now we were we had to like work our way to where we got middle and a little bit closer. But it was standing. It's not as comfortable. but it was fun. I had a good time. And I mean, I think for what you're getting, because usually like Eat to the Beat concerts are 30 minutes or something like that. It's a similar thing if you go see a concert at Universal like this. So standing for that period of time is not that bad, but it's less comfortable because you are standing and you're packed in like sardines. But I don't know. Like I think, like I said, I think you just have to, like everything at Disney, if you're going to do it, you have to plan it. At Universal, it can be a little more spur of the moment if you don't really care how close you get. So that's what I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a solid comparison. I would say something similar, even though I haven't. Like, I've walked by the Eat to the Beat area, and I've never committed to the bit, but solid.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, of course you could do that if you're walking through. You can stand in the back, but you almost can't see the stage from, like, unless you get really close. And they have it taped off to where you can't block the walking areas and stuff like that. But at Disney, but yeah. That's what we did for Sugar Ray. Like we didn't plan to go see Sugar Ray. We were just walking by. We're like, oh my gosh, Sugar Ray's playing. Let's stop and watch. We didn't have a great view, but we could sort of see the stage, and we got to hear every morning, and that was fine. So.
I think that's how most people here recently find themselves seeing Sugar Ray perform. They're just walking by. It's like, oh my God, is that Sugar Ray? We have to.
Sugar Ray's playing at the Starbucks? What's happening?
Yeah, it's like, good God, Mark McGrath, what are you doing? And the next thing you know, you're just watching a show.
I'll tell you this, soccer moms love some Sugar Ray.
Oh, I bet they do.
They love it.
I bet.
Yeah.
You probably saw all sorts of mom butt there at that Sugar Ray show.
Oh, yeah. They were shaking it.
Anyway, back to Mardi Gras.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, same. You go to Mardi Gras, you're going to see people shaking it. Oh.
Now, but you do see people shaking it at the Mardi Gras, particularly in the parade, and people performing in the parade as well, now that I think about it.
And people on the sides. And by the way, this is exactly what I was going to say. As a guest who has watched the Mardi Gras parade several times, one of my favorite things is I think the performers in the parade love it when you dance with them, and they'll come over and like stop with you and dance to the music, and I get into it, man. I am jiving during that concert or during that parade. I have a great time catching beads, shaking my booty. It's great. I have a good time.
Though I will say, it's like if you're on the front line catching, watch your eyes, because I came precariously close to being one-eyed Landon during my experience at the Mardi Gras parade. But like the Mardi Gras parade is just so dang fun, and I mean, like going back to what you said, the food is incredible.
So good
that they offer during Mardi Gras. It is so good.
Yep. And if you are a pass holder at Universal, you get that special advantage of if you buy a lanyard, then you get a certain amount of a discount. And so it's nice because, like, say, don't quote me on this, but if the lanyard is $100, then you get like $125 to spend or something. It's not that much, but you do get like a bonus. That's not something you get at Disney. You can buy a gift card. You're not going to get any bonus money or items. SeaWorld does this too for their events, where if you're a pass holder, you can buy a lanyard and you get extra punches for being a pass holder. So it's a cool perk, and definitely take advantage of it. If you're like me and you can't stop getting those Bloody Marys, you can get your money's worth, because you can get alcohol with it, because it's just like a gift card.
Me and the Smoking Hot Girlfriend definitely used that to our advantage when we were down during Mardi Gras last year.
It's good stuff. Highly recommend it.
And kind of like everything else, you can experience the Mardi Gras parade during regular park hours at Universal. This isn't an after-hour ticketed event like Very Merry or Not So Scary across the street at Disney. So, I mean, this is something that's included.
There is a caveat. If you are the very lowest, I want to say 1 or 2 tier annual passes,
blocked.
Mardi Gras concerts are not included.
Gotcha.
Well, I was talking about the parade and the stuff contained in the park and stuff like that.
That's
true.
But yes,
make the caveat.
Thank you for clarifying.
It's a fair call out, Steffers.
I try.
All right.
And that was Across the Universal with Steffers.
And that wraps it up. Thank you, Steffers. Very good. With that being said, I think it's time to take a little break. And when we come back, we will play a little game that I did not name anything fun. It's just pick your half day at Magic Kingdom. We got responses from the Monorail fam out there in the social media. We're going to read them, and we're going to give our responses. Stick around. Welcome back to the Monorail. It is Justin, Stephers, and Landon bringing you back to the final segment here on the Monorail. And usually, in the last segment of the show, we like to reach out to the Monday Morning Monorail family and interact with you directly, and that's what we're doing this week. But before we get to your responses to the question, we have to play the game ourselves. Stephers, Landon, I gave you an extra week to do your homework, but now it's time to turn it in to the TA. I guess I'm the TA.
I thought you were.
Are
the
you
teacher.
now?
No, I'm just the TA. I can't declare myself.
I thought I was the TA. That's awkward. Oh well.
So,
Landon.
Well,
Ladies first or Landon's first?
Well, let's throw the question back out.
Oh yeah, I know that.
And then and then I'm the TA. I'll tell you who goes first.
Okay. Sorry.
It's fine.
I like how y'all are arguing who's the teacher, who's the TA, but we all know I'm the one that's asleep in the back of the classroom. That's just understood.
That's a fact.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm just here for a C. That's all. Yeah.
Well, last week I asked the question, if you had a half day in the Magic Kingdom, specifically a morning, rope drop to lunch, how would you spend it? What would you ride? What do you eat and drink, and where do you shop? The Magic Kingdom is your oyster for about 4.5 hours. So Stephers, with that being in mind, I thought this was interesting because I think a lot of people tend to prefer Magic Kingdom at night, which is sort of why I phrased it this way. And also, it's the park with the most attractions. So how do you get the bang for your buck? What do you do? Stephers, take it away.
Well, to get the most bang for your buck, you do an after-hours party, but that wasn't part of the question, so I am going to actually stay on topic. So I typically do the same thing each time we have a Magic Kingdom day, so this was relatively easy. The timing, probably a little off. Rope drop, Big Thunder Mountain, because my fave.
Okay.
And then after Big Thunder, stop for a Nutella waffle at Sleepy Hollow.
Tasty.
Then hit up Haunted Mansion, because Haunted Mansion. Then head to Tomorrowland.
Wow.
Space Mountain, People Mover, Space Ranger Spin, if there's time. If there's no time, you throw out Space Ranger Spin. And then, since this is now reopened, end the afternoon with a ride along the railroad.
Okay.
Wow.
Are you, I guess would you try to get on the train in Fantasyland, or where are you getting on the train?
Listen. Train, wherever I have time.
Okay.
Yes.
Train.
There was no like specific.
All right.
Like,
I'm just
train.
asking. All right. Okay. You think you could get 6 attractions in 4.5 hours?
Absolutely. I've done it.
Okay. All right.
She says with authority.
It depends. Yes, it will depend on time of year and blah, 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 blah. But yes. Yeah. And that is without Lightning Lane or Genie Plus.
Okay. All right.
Well, that was going to be my secret. I was just going to Lightning Lane and Genie Plus everything.
Do it all. Do it all in 4.5 hours.
Yep.
Okay. No, that's great. Like, so interesting. You always, if you're going to Magic Kingdom, if you're going to rope drop, it's always Big Thunder. That's your strategy?
Typically, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes Big Thunder isn't open, so I dilly-dally a little bit. I linger, kind of vibe, taking the sights. But yeah, rope drop Big Thunder is usually my go-to.
Okay, great. I mean, more power to you if you can get all that in. I love it. I think it's ambitious, but I wish you luck, Stephers, and I hope that someday you get to reenact this and it'll go beautifully.
Thank you. I will reenact it maybe in a few weeks.
Okay.
There you go.
I think you have to test the plan and see if you can do it.
Yeah, and I was going to say, you got to put yourself on a timer too, see if you can pull it off in 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
For science.
No one has confidence in Stephers right now, and I'm going to need the hype people in the listening world.
Okay.
No,
okay?
I believe you. I want you to put yourself on a clock so you can then put it in Justin Six Flags' face and tell him to suck it.
Again, it's Justin Allison Cedar Six Flags. Thank you very much. All right, Landon, it's your turn. What are you going to do?
Okay. I am going to walk right down Main Street, USA, and I'm going to hang a left. I am going to Jungle Cruise or Jingle Cruise, depending on what time of year that I am going, because kind of like what Stephers was talking about, part of the reason that she is kind of not into this attraction is sometimes there is a line that just makes it prohibitive to get on that attraction. So if I'm rope dropping anything, and if I'm going left when I enter the Magic Kingdom, that is going to be the attraction that I'm getting on first. After I get off Jungle Cruise / Jingle Cruise, I'm in the area, so I'm going to hit up some Pirates of the Caribbean or Caribbean, however you want to pronounce it. At that point, I'm going to circle back a little bit. I'm going to get me a Dole Whip. What a way to start the day with a nice, tasty treat of a Dole Whip. As I'm finishing my Dole Whip, I'm then going to walk to Big Thunder Mountain. Get me some thrill rides on Big Thunder Mountain. Go say hi to my friend, the animatronic possum that hangs out on the bunny hops. Because if you listen to Does Disney, you know that is my favorite thing on that attraction. After Big Thunder, I'm in the vicinity, so I'm going to walk a little bit further down. I'm going to go ride the Haunted Mansion. Jay, how am I doing on time?
I mean, I think you're probably getting close, but it just depends on lines. I mean, Stephers said she could do like 10 attractions in 4 hours, so...
She could do the entire park in 4 hours. She could do that and Animal Kingdom in
5 attractions, y'all. 5 attractions and a waffle and a train.
That's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 attractions, a waffle, and a train. I don't think that is far left field.
All right.
Anyway, continue.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if you're saying I'm close on time, that means I either have one attraction or a meal. That's what you're telling me, right?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay. This is going to be something that I've yet to do, but by this time next week, I will have done. For lunch, I'm going to head back to Adventureland, and I'm going to go to Skipper's Canteen. Because I hear it's really good food, and I can close out my half day in the Magic Kingdom with a congaloosh.
There you go. Good call.
There you go.
That's
And
a lot.
is how does the Magic Kingdom.
Me, I'm spending half my time in that Pirates line after doing all the other things that he did before that. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Early in the morning, I can knock it out. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Miss, I did everything on Walt Disney World property in 4 hours.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Including the aqua car in Disney Springs.
You're stinky. Good night.
Well, I haven't showered today, Steffer, so what's your point?
So
Okay, Jay, you're up.
I heard
How do you spend your 4 hours?
Yeah, I heard a lot of people talking about that. Again, as I said before, I think the preference for Magic Kingdom for many people, if you're only doing a half day, is to go in the evening, afternoon and evening. And I would agree, because my favorite of any land in any park at any time is Tomorrowland at night. That is peak theme park experience to me. Now, that being eliminated, I will say, anytime that I attack Magic Kingdom, if I'm making a full day plan, I go left, just like you and Stephers. I always go left, and we go clockwise around the park. So we're doing that again. We're going to go left, and we're going to rope drop Jungle Cruise Land. And I think you're right, because for me, I don't want to, if you hesitate on Jungle Cruise, that line gets too long. And so I'm not going to do it once it gets past like 45 minutes or so. So I'm going right to Jungle Cruise. As soon as I'm off of Jungle Cruise, heading to Pirates. I'm going to do Pirates because I think you could probably do those two things back to back. And maybe you're right about an hour at that point, maybe a little more. And then I'm going to take a little pause. I'm going to go on over to Sleepy Hollow. I'm stealing from both of you, but I'm not getting the Nutella waffle. I'm going to get that spicy chicken and waffle because that's
valid.
Is very, very good. And I need that protein to keep me going through the, and I personally, I like the Nutella waffle, but I think I like the spicy chicken one better.
I'm a sweets girl, so that's why.
Yeah. As soon as I wrap that up, then I'm going to head on over to the Haunted Mansion and I'm going to enjoy becoming the 1000th happy haunt as I pass away from all of the sodium that I just ingested with that spicy chicken and waffle. And then here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep it on that side of the park. I'm going to hop on the Mark Twain riverboat. I'm going to take a circle on the Mark Twain and then I'm heading out of the park. I might stop in the Emporium on the way out and buy one of those.
That's half
new
a day as a
monorail.
local right there. If I've ever heard it before in my life. Unbelievable.
Yep, put in some time to hit the old dusty trail.
Oh, yeah. Mark Twain casual Mark Twain ride.
Not only are you ending your day on the Mark Twain.
Yeah, it's
the
nice.
Mark Twain.
It's nice. I like it. If you haven't done it, you should do it. Y'all are missing out on the Mark Twain riverboat.
Listen, I ain't got time for the Mark Twain.
It's not
Justin.
nice, but if you have 4.5 hours, you're going to give part of it to the Mark Twain. And that's how you're ending your day.
Well, as Stephers said, I'm a local. And this is what we do. Actually, it's called the Liberty Bell, isn't it?
But we all knew what you were talking about. So
yeah.
And honestly, if we know what you're talking about, it's fine.
It's still disappointing.
it can be both, Jay. It can be both.
Well, I do think that it's an attract. So I'm trying to not be overly ambitious with my 4 hours. I feel like
you're saying I'm overly.
No, I believe that you can do it, Stephers, but I'm also not trying to go all over the park.
That's valid, yeah. I'm
trying to limit my steps and keep it sort of compact. So I'm trying to get bang for my buck in terms of what area I'm in. So I'm just going to hop on the Liberty Bell, enjoy that little boat ride. And then by the time that's done, I'm about ready to go home and take a nap. Did I tell you I'm old? I need a midday nap.
Old.
He worked in nap time in his half day at the Magic Kingdom. Good Lord. And then I'm going to find me a nice bench in front of Cinderella Castle and just catch me some quick Z's.
But then I might be first in line for Trader Sam's. So,
Oh, well, there you go. Okay. All right. And I'm back. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. Interesting.
Well, I think we're going to have some interesting responses to read. And I say, why don't we start with some of the answers that we got from our Monorail family in the Monday Morning Monorail Fam Facebook group. I posted the question. We got several responses. Thank you so much for those who chimed in. And we're going to try our best to hit them. We're going to hit as many as we can. We're going to hit them quick. But thank you so much for answering. If we don't get to you, don't lose faith. Keep participating. We'll get to you on a future question. So I'm going to start with Aurora, who weighed in with the fact that she has 2 boys that's going with her. So that's going to impact her decisions. She said, I have 2 boys, 10 and 13. So if we're rope dropping Magic Kingdom, we're probably heading straight to Space Mountain. Respect. I'm sure I'll handle it much better first thing in the morning. It's getting rough riding that one.
I agree. Yeah.
Then my youngest would insist on riding the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh. After that, I'd be ready for some Joffrey's cold brew and a Cheshire cat tail. Pretty good. Mm-hmm. Then it's time for Haunted Mansion. And of course, we need to get on Big Thunder Railroad at least once before we think about lunch. I'm getting to the point where after I eat, I need a good hour before getting on Big Thrill Ride. Totally get it, Aurora. Totally get it. And she also chimed in with this. She said, it was so great to listen to the 3 of you on today's episode. This was speaking last week. I was so happy to hear Stephers again. The show never fails to bring a smile to my face. So thank you so much for bringing it back.
Oh,
thank you, Aurora.
Aurora's my favorite member of the Monorail fam.
Yeah.
I'm going to cry. Aurora, love you. Thank you.
Very sweet. Thanks, Aurora.
That is nice.
Okay. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Brianna, because
Banana?
we never got clarification on the pronunciation.
No, we did get clarification. I was right until you came and mucked it all up.
She said Landon was right.
That's from Banana herself.
Okay, wait. Which one is it?
Brianna.
Okay. Listen, no one tagged me in this clarification, but I'm going to take her response. She's going to rope drop Thunder Mountain. Okay, respect, because me. Pick up a Sleepy Hollow waffle. Controversially, not Nutella since I'm allergic, but the strawberries and that sugary sauce are so good. Respect. I mean, a lot of people are allergic to Nutella. On the way to Tomorrowland, hit Space, People Mover, and Progress, and finish with Haunted Mansion.
Ooh.
You'd have to be walking fast. These little legs can move. I mean, want to say it. This is...
Well, okay. I mean, you all ambitious. Going back and forth across the park. All right. Okay.
That's ambitious. But
I mean,
I respect that. Brianna.
my
big
order was
plan.
slightly different,
Yeah.
but like I respect it.
Pretty similar. Yeah.
We love to hear it.
Brianna is my favorite member of the Monorail family with her ambitious plans.
Well,
I'm going to get in here with Katrina. How about that?
Do it.
I'm rope dropping Jungle Cruise. Smart choice, because find those puns hilarious every time. Then knocking out Pirates, Haunted Mansion, and Big Thunder Railroad. I'm noticing a trend here. Me and Katrina on the same page. Then to Sleepy Hollow for, like Jay said, that sweet and spicy chicken waffle sandwich. Honestly, never had it, but it sounds amazing. I'm eating some somewhere on the lawn near the castle so I can people watch. Then smart girl, my Tron virtual queue is called, and then voila, my morning at the Magic Castle. Well done, Katrina.
Yeah.
She goes on to say, love the podcast. I'm a new listener, started a couple weeks ago on your return back episode. I found you guys after listening to Justin Monorail on the Main Street Magic podcast. I'm so excited to be part of the Monorail family. Thanks for the awesome podcast. No, thank you, Katrina, because you are my favorite member of the Monorail family.
Wow. I'm feeling love today.
I'm literally
Yeah, right?
crying. I hope everyone knows that tears are actually in my eyes. Anyway, continue.
The waterworks have begun, and I feel like I'm on Dudley Do Right's Ripsaw Falls. All right, very good. So I'm going to jump down to Steve. He said, I am rope dropping the Jungle Cruise because, dad jokes. Then shiver me timbers on Pirates. Swing on over to hang on to my hat and glasses on Big Thunder. Wait, why am I wearing more than one hat? Then it's off to the Haunted Mansion. To pick up an orange cream soft serve from Sunshine Tree Terrace on my way to Tomorrowland to chill on the People Mover and people watch the rest of the morning. Solid.
Solid.
I love that, Steve.
That's
I
very
love
Man.
Steve's response.
Steve, my favorite member of the Monorail fam. That's a hell of a plan, Steve.
Very good. Very good. Who's up next?
Want to keep it? Oh, Chuck. All right, go for it, Steffers.
I was going to keep it a Chuck. First of all, we do MK at night. Popular opinion here. Love MK at night, but if we were rope dropping, it would likely look like this. Rope dropping Space Mountain. Hopefully have an early time for Tron next. These people thinking about Tron, I really respect the
They put some thought into this, unlike us three.
Haunted Mansion would be next. Spring Rolls.
Oh.
This is the first time we've heard the Spring Rolls. Maybe Casey's and Emporium on the way out.
That's another first. Well, Jay, you thought you might stop on the Emporium on
if there's time after I ride the Liberty Bell
on your way to a nap.
That's an all-time classic answer. Come on, I did great.
It's a something answer. I'll give you that.
I want to know from Chuck what his favorite spring rolls are. I think he may have told us this in another thread, but just curious, Chuck, let us know.
Well, we got some new listeners, obviously, so Chuck needs to drop some knowledge on us.
Yeah.
Boom.
And then keeping it, another fan of the naps. Let's go with Melanie. Pirates, Starbucks, nap in the hubgrass, finish with corn dog nuggets. Now, I do have to ask Melanie, plastic cheese or no with the corn dog nugs? I'm pro plastic cheese on the side for some dipping action because that stuff, top notch for me. Good answer from Melanie, who is my favorite member of the Monorail.
And she went Nutella waffle, which is interesting. So we should be keeping a tally which waffles we're getting because this is a lot of waffle shout outs on
There's some waffle love with the Monorail family.
Yeah. And I think it's 2 Nutella. If we include your spicy chicken, then that's 2 chicken. And then we have like a plain strawberry. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because Banana's allergic to Nutella.
Well, this one is going to...
Did we get consent to call her Banana?
She's fine.
She did sign her post as Banana.
She did. Okay.
She'll always be Banana in my heart.
Well, we're going to ring another waffle up on the scoreboard here with Rachel's answer. She said, I am rope dropping Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Is that the first mention we've had?
Yep. Yes. First one.
Seven Dwarfs? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Eating a Nutella fruit waffle from Sleepy Hollow, riding Haunted Mansion, Pirates, and ending with shopping on Main Street and eating at Casey's Corner because I can't go to MK without Sleepy Hollow and Casey's. Respect. I mean, yeah, for sure.
1000%. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to hit the classics. So that's great. First mention of Seven Dwarfs. But again, that's another one that I would say if you're going to do it, first thing in the morning is the way to do it.
First thing.
Or during fireworks. One of the two. Well,
but since we can't stay for fireworks unless they do it at 11:45 in the morning, counterproductive. That's what Disney should start doing. Just middle of the day fireworks displays. Just confuse and scare the crap out of everybody.
Well, they sort of do that when they do the castle shows in the middle of the day because there'll be like a big burst of fireworks, and they always scare the living bejesus out of me every time it happens.
It's like, what is going on? We're under attack.
Yeah. So
Universal is invading.
Universal. They're firing the first shots.
Yep.
Always.
All right.
Shamu is pissed. He's here to take Cinderella Castle.
Shamu. With freaking laser beams attached to his head.
We almost got a spit take.
All right. Well, those were the responses we got in the Monday Morning Monorail fam on Facebook, but we also got some responses on X. If you follow us on X, we're at Morning Monorail.
Just call it Twitter.
On Twitter. But I also think it's funny to say we're on X. So.
Okay, touche. Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right.
We do have a lot of responses. Y'all really like your days at Magic Kingdom, is what I'm gathering.
Oh, yes. And they're passionate about it. They are. And I love the passion. And I'm going to start with someone who I know has a lot of passion in his soul, and that's Skipper Bob. And he said,
Skipper Bob,
if it's a day where there's a hard ticket event later, you can knock nearly every e-ticket ride by lunch. But a normal day.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Yeah. I mean, solid strategy. A normal day, People Mover, Pirates, Haunted Mansion, Big Thunder, and then launch at Columbia Harbor House. Okay.
Didn't know we're launching into
launch those rockets at Columbia Harbor House. So that's solid. And now I need to know what your order is at Columbia Harbor House. You all it opens all these questions for me when I see you say something like that. But yeah, that's solid. I like that.
By the way, Skipper Bob, my favorite member of the Monorail.
I like rope dropping People Mover. That's fun.
Yeah, that is. I did not have that on my. Being completely honest, but hey, y'all do you, because I mean, People Mover is pretty awesome. So
yeah,
you're pretty awesome.
Oh, thanks, buddy. You too.
Who else is awesome?
You know who is awesome?
Who's awesome?
The person that you better be doing next, Stephers.
You're doing it. It's your turn.
It is. Sure. Okay, we're going out of order. Donna is awesome. Donna says, okay, hi, I would go on People Mover, Carousel of Progress, Haunted Mansion. This is another first. Country Bear Jamboree, or as I like to pronounce it, Jamboree. It's more fun to say it that way. The Tiki Room, another first. And then Pirates of the Caribbean. Just get a quick snack of a frozen banana. Love the show. Glad you're back. Thank you. No, thank you, Donna. You're my favorite member of the Monorail family. Donna also has a very auspicious day planned in the Magic Kingdom. I love that. Like go big. At least you don't have a nap plan like some people.
Hey, you got to prioritize the energy. Country Bear Jamboree is a funny thing to say, and I want to call it that too. But getting the Tiki Room and Country Bear Jamboree in your half day that's. I mean,
yeah, that's a chunk of time.
And she's doing Carousel of Progress. So,
also another chunk of time, yeah.
It would have been interesting.
Opposite ends of the park, too.
I'm willing to bet that she, with this agenda, I bet she would have had time to also do Mickey's PhilharMagic, and then you've done all the shows in the half day. That would have been...
Oh, she would have to at that point.
Yeah, squeeze it in. Squeeze it in.
Uh-huh.
Donna, when you come...
PhilharMagic's awesome.
When you come back to the East Coast, cram that into the schedule. You'll be happy because they got the new scene you can watch. The Coco scene.
From Coco, it's so good.
Yeah, there you go.
It is so good.
All right, Stephers, who have you got?
Who have I got? I'll do Tombstone Josh.
Hey.
Haven't talked about Josh in a while. He says, "Oh boy, that's a good start." I'm not saying it like that. Pirates, Big Thunder, Haunted Mansion, Eat at Casey's, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. I think that's the first, and then Tron.
Okay,
Josh also planning for Tron. How did the three of us just?
I thought about it, but I'm a creature of habit. So
okay, all right.
Totally forgot about.
I haven't been on it yet, so I don't want to solidify it into my day.
My problem was I was thinking you can't guarantee that you'd get the timing you need for Tron.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. And also, you were trying to keep yourself from bouncing from one side of the park to the other,
and make sure I had time for
old man legs,
so you can take a nap.
Exactly. You would just fall asleep right there in front of the the merry-go-round or whatever.
I like this new persona that I'm adopting.
Because you planned for a nap going to freaking Walt Disney World. Oh my God. Sorry, everybody. Zoe just attacked me.
I need to move at a slower pace these days.
He's like, hey guys, don't you be making fun of Justin Monorail. That's the Zoe voice, by the way.
Somebody's got to be the dad around here. My favorite ride is the park bench.
Yep, exactly. Oh, look, a bench. Let's ride that.
Yeah. All right. I know somebody who would disagree with me about the best ride being the park bench, and that is Dr. Jacqueline, Pixie Dust PhD, at Pixie Dust PhD on Twitter. She says, meet Mirabelle, Ride Tron, Group 4 Fastest Finger. I mean, she's planning. That's okay. Hike over to Haunted Mansion, grab a Dole Whip pineapple upside down cake. Ride Big Thunder, take in some vibes, Dapper Dan's Castle Stage Show, which will scare the crap out of Justin when the fireworks go off. Whatever's around. Take some pics and bounce. Shop at Grand Floridian and grab lunch along the monorail. Hey.
Oh my God.
I like
That's
that.
A day.
I like that. Extending the plans by doing a little resort hopping that's solid. That's good. Yeah. Good job.
I want to party with Dr. Jacqueline. That's an awesome day. Dr. Jacqueline, my favorite member of the monorail.
If you know Dr. Jacqueline, she is a planner. And let me just tell you, she and her partner Adam just came down here. They were here for like 14 days. She sent me, I think, 3 different versions of the agenda that she had for every day that she was here. And they were timed to the hour of where she would be and when. So I'm just telling you that
I respect that. That's awesome.
That's a planner right there. She knows what's up.
Man, I thought you were meticulous. She makes you look like some amateur hour stuff, dude.
I know. I got to step up my game. All right, Landon, who you got next?
How about our friend Lewis at Disney Pick-a-Day? Yeah. I will pretend that there's no waiting because I rope drop. Honestly, that's
the idea.
That's a good mindset to have with this experiment.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us are pretending that there's no waiting. But he goes on to say, Space Mountain. While I'm at it, there isn't a 2-mile walk of Space Mountain. Okay, now
he's got 2 more rides on Space Mountain.
Then he says, Space Mountain, Haunted Mansion, then Big Thunder, Pirates, Jungle Cruise. Then he says probably lunchtime by then. Buddy, I think it was probably lunchtime by the time you got to Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
But auspicious.
No.
Auspicious.
You can probably get in at least 2 rides on Space Mountain if you rope drop it.
Yeah.
Well, in his scenario, he rope dropped it and he got 3 rides out of Space Mountain before.
And
because he is cutting out the exit walk too.
Yeah, I was about to say, and he's planning ahead. You know what I'm saying?
He's playing fast and loose with the rules, guys.
He's doing he's doing some Doctor Strange time and space bending. Yeah.
Or would it be Doctor Who timey-wimey stuff?
That's right. Wibbly wobbly.
Lewis is my favorite member of the monorail because he's playing by his own rules, and I respect that.
Well, in my experience, that'll get you a one-way trip to the penalty box. But I'm gonna let Lewis go.
Oh, are we bringing it back?
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Hey,
wait, I put you in the penalty box last.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Because you were being a smart aleck. Yeah, I said it on fast.
Okay.
We've been recording too long.
Okay, so when we kicked the show off with me choking to death and Landon just had a stroke, Stephers, what's your trick going to be?
Stephers, look out.
I'm hungover and I haven't had any sleep. I think I'm already tortured enough.
Fair.
Thank you.
Fair.
But I'll pass.
All right, fair enough. But who are you going to pick to read the response for?
Oh, Rick. I already had it in my head. I haven't heard about Rick from Tall Guy Talks Travel. Honestly, if I'm leaving at that time, I'm not eating there. Smart, honestly. I probably wouldn't either. Except for that waffle. I am riding Thunder, Mansion, and the People Mover. Maybe the Liberty Bell. There you go. Another vote for the Liberty Bell.
It's back.
Unbelievable.
Of course, I'm calling it the Mark Twain for some reason. Because I'm 100 years old. I second
it because I was thinking of a Disney game I play. But Rick is also a local last time I checked. So
Yeah, he lives.
Seems
He
like
lives
a local
in.
answer.
He lives in like the Tampa area, so it's a little
And
bit.
he
of a
also
drive.
said maybe, so he's not committed to it.
But it was on his mind, so it counts.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe's kind of in the gray area. So let's not put it on the scoreboard.
all right. Well, I am.
Rick's my favorite member of the Monorail family.
Okay, I'm going to read the response from Pharmacy Doula with boring shoes.
Dude, I love the name.
Yeah, it's good. Now
I'm
they
just going to
said
say that is my favorite member of the Monorail.
So-
I don't think I could pronounce that. So there we go.
if I rope drop, which I hardly do anymore, Buzz, a rope drop for Buzz. That's a first.
Wow. Okay.
People Mover, Nutella Waffle, put it on the scoreboard. Pirates of the Caribbean, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Haunted Mansion, and then Window Shop, and then lunch one-ish at Steakhouse 71.
Ooh.
Very good.
Solid.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Solid plan.
Now that is a strong closing. I love that.
I think you could probably do this because you'd walk right onto Buzz. People Mover, you'd walk on. Nutella Waffle, let's say you eat it in line for Pirates of the Caribbean. I think you're solid there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very doable. That is a strong plan right there. I'm going to go with Drew, who says he did this a few weeks ago. So apparently this is a doable plan. We did Peter Pan. That's our first for Peter Pan. Here we go. Mine Train, Individual Lightning Lane. Small World, another first.
Yeah.
Carousel of Progress, Winnie the Pooh, Aladdin, Jungle Cruise, Pirates, Buzz, and Tron with Individual Lightning Lane. And he said it was all done by 1 p.m. Now,
Wow.
Drew did use Lightning Lanes twice, but everything we've said up until Drew has all been hypothetical. Drew did the dang thing. So,
well, and if you look at
some
it,
skin in the game to get it accomplished, but
and if you
Drew
look
did
at it,
so.
Peter Pan rope drop, so that's eliminating
that's
a typically long line, right? Mine Train, Individual Lightning Lane. There still probably was a wait there because by the time you did it, it would have backed up a little bit. But Small World probably walked on. Carousel, Winnie the Pooh, the Aladdin, which is interesting, the magic carpets. Jungle Cruise and Pirates would have been where it holds you up, but still all done by 1. I mean, that's impressive. That's very good job. Very good job.
Yeah, that is a very good day in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. Solid, Drew.
Got all that done by 1. Nicely done, Drew. You are my favorite.
Yep. Steffers, your turn.
Willow, 1213.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say 1213, but I wanted to do 1213. With kids, ? Fantasyland Classics, Peter Pan, Small World, Pooh, Teacups, Ariel, Barnstormer, and Dumbo. Should be able to knock them all out quickly.
Wow.
Honestly, if you do the round, I don't disagree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you start with Peter Pan and Small World and round it out.
I'll be honest.
Solid.
You can take care of that.
And that's
and also got a couple first there.
Several.
In Teacups and Barnstormer and Ariel as well. That's 3 firsts.
And Dumbo.
And Dumbo as well, yeah. Willow doing the dang thing.
That's actually a pretty solid day. That's pretty good. That'd be a fun day with the kids.
It would, yeah.
If you could somehow squeeze in the carousel, that'd be nice. I think you probably could. All right. Is it my turn again? Okay.
It is your turn, yes.
All right, we're gonna hop to Sabra this time, and I think I say it wrong. I think she says Sabra. We need another pronunciation guide, Sabra. Okay,
Steffers, do you want to weigh in here?
I found the comments from Banana, and my life is complete, and I'm good. I'm happy.
All right. So she's going to go straight to Pirates of the Caribbean, then Big Thunder Mountain. Then I'm headed for some lunch at Pecos Bill. If she's still got time, she's going to stop at the Emporium to look for new Goofy mugs. I think you would. I mean, you got plenty of time. So just getting into attractions, I think that's the attraction low. But she's more interested in shopping at a little Pecos Bill. That's fine. That's how you spend your day. We got one left, Landon, and you get the honors.
Oh, we do, as I put away my app.
Oh, do you want me to read it?
No, it's okay. I can do the last one.
Go for it, Steffers.
The last one is from Chase Norris at Jurassic Chase. Tron, Space Mountain, Pirates, and maybe Jungle. No shopping, no food.
Okay. Well,
respect. Going after those attractions.
Okay. Yeah.
Honestly, same.
The Tron the Tron is the variable there. But aside from that, then I think you're all right. I actually think like even if you just went with 4 headliners, I think you could do it in the morning, right?
Correct.
Yeah. But
That seems doable.
yeah, I agree. As long as it's not Seven Dwarfs or Peter Pan, you throw those in, and then you're
Yeah, that's gonna gum up the works.
changing the game. Yeah, but that was fun. Thanks everybody for responding and interacting with us on this question this week.
By the way, Chase and Saber are my favorite members of the Monorail family.
Yeah.
Want to leave them out. Yeah.
Landon, you will not be with us next week, so I'm not going to throw out a question or an interactive thing this week. So Stephers and I've got some like in-park audio stuff I need to drop, so we can fill some time with that. And Stephers and I will just chat about some Universal stuff since you won't be around.
That sounds good. And I'm sorry I'm not going to be here next week, but me and the Smoking Hot, we're going to be in Walt Disney World. So it's a bummer I'm not going to be here, but.
Oh, you sound so sad, so heartbroken. You're going to be in Disney World. Oh, boo-hoo.
However, will I survive?
I know.
Yeah, we record on Sundays, and I'm thinking Sunday, 1 week from today. I think that's my Hollywood studio. Yep, that's my Hollywood studio day. So hopefully,
hope you
this
have
time
a great time.
Me and the Smoking Hot girlfriend, we are looking the hell forward to this trip. Yeah, we're doing it up big, and we're going to try and not kill ourselves and running ourselves ragged like we always do.
You always do it. You always do it. So
Uh-huh.
I'll believe that you guys will slow down and take it easy when I see it, because I haven't seen it yet.
We actually planned some breaks, like we have days built in, and we have a Disney Spring Day built in. So we're not going hardcore in the parks like we always do.
Okay.
We're keeping it exclusive to the Walt Disney World Resort. Sorry, Universal and Staffers. We're not gonna try and murder ourselves like we always
please
do.
don't.
So.
Please. And hey, 2 things: sunscreen and hydrate. Don't forget it.
It's November. I don't need sunscreen.
No, yes, you do. You will burn.
I know. Yeah, I always have the aloe packed in my Disney go bag. So
good. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. And then when you get back, we'll be able to get a trip report. So that'll be fun too.
Yeah. We got our Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party night. So hopefully I can get some inside information on that one.
Oh, that'll be great.
I can try some of those tasty treats as well.
Absolutely. We'll get an exclusive report from Very Merry. That'll be exciting. Well, if people want to follow along on your adventures, Landon, where should they find you on the social media?
I'm not going to plug my website. How about this? I'm going to plug my other Twitter account at Dawes Does Disney. Yes, even though the podcast has morphed into the return of the Monday Morning Monorail, that Twitter account is still up and running. And honestly, that's where I might be posting most of what I'm doing on said trip down to Walt Disney World. So if you want to follow along, get in on the fun, and see what shenanigans me and the Smoking Hot girlfriend are getting down into the House of the Mouse, follow me there at Dawes Does Disney as well. That's DOZDOES, and y'all know how to spell Disney. I also appear on the Phil Show, News Talk 98.7 WOKI, radio station locally here in Knoxville, Tennessee, streaming 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at newstalk987.com. Also available on the iHeartRadio app and the News Talk 987 app as well. But again, I'm only going to be on the show Monday and Tuesday this week because, once again, I'm going to Disney World, y'all. And then I'm like gone for a week and a half. So, I mean, I guess you could keep listening to Phil if you want to. But,
Nah.
Yeah. If I'm not there, what's the point? If we're being completely honest. I'm sure that won't be brought up on my next review. So,
hey, we all know who people come to hear the talent, and you're the talent. So,
well, you're not wrong. But thanks for listening to the Monorail, and I'll talk to y'all in a couple weeks. Yeah. There's that. Yeah.
Have a safe trip.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Hopefully we can find time to hang out.
Yeah,
because Mr. Local, hopefully you can work me in on your calendar when you're naps after riding big boats in the Magic Kingdom.
I'll try, but my nap schedule's pretty full. Stephers.
I understand. Yeah.
Stephers, how about you? Where can people find you on the internet?
On the internet, well, you could probably find me a few places, but I will stick to the appropriate ones. You can find me on Instagram or TikTok at, I'm joking, it was a joke, at Adventures with Steffers. And then on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it, it's Steffers with 2 S's. It's, and then Steffers. And then maybe you'll, see some new stuff coming from me here.
Oh, I love it. I love the teaser.
Wink. Cough.
Yeah.
Cough, cough.
Psst, psst, psst. Keep your ear to the social medias because Steffers there might be something pop up on there. Right?
Just maybe.
Maybe.
If the timing's right and people have no lives.
Okay. That's exciting.
And by people, I mean these two right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoy having you be part of the Monorail, Steffers, and I enjoy having you be part of the Monorail, Landon, and I enjoy all of you for listening to the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. Thank you so much for coming back here once again this week. Please, please, please tell your friends, invite more people onto the Monorail because the bigger, the better, and I love having the biggest Monorail family we can possibly have. Thank you all again so much for participating in the social media questions. Look forward to more of that. And next week, Steffers and I will be back right here with more Monday Morning Monorail. We are on social media at Morning Monorail. And also, if you want to follow my personal accounts, I'm Justin_Monorail on all the things. Whether I see you there or whether we see you here next week, I hope you have a great week and we'll talk to you next time. And until then, thank a cast member, thank a team member, be excellent to each other in general, and party on, dudes. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.